Desmond. Let's go.
She woke up. Sailor!
It's Christian and I'll be as far as today as you journey into the Romney Wildlife Reserve. If you guys look above your heads, there is an animal spotting guide. So if you guys see an animal that I do not, please let me know. We may not see every single one of those animals up there due to migration patterns, but we do tend to have some pretty good luck. Now for everybody's safety, please remain seated for me at all times, even when the trek is completely stopped. That does mean absolutely no standing or switching seats. That goes for my little ones on board as well. So parents, make sure you're supervising your children, making sure everybody keeps their hands, arms, legs, and feet inside the vehicle. With that being said, it looks like the warden has given us the all clear to head on into the reserve. So we're going to be starting off our adventure into the Little Ituri Forest. The forest is home to some of the more shy and reclusive animals. And it looks like I already see a few different animals scattered throughout the area. Here on the right, there's going to be a Okapi there in the middle. Has a reddish-brown color on his coat with black and white stripes on his legs. Also here on the left, there's some bongos. The bongos are laid down the top of the hill. They have that really pretty copper color to their coat. They're also nicknamed the ghosts of the forest. That's because they're rarely ever seen out
There's
wild.
a bird.
So it's pretty cool to see them today.
There's a bird.
Well, see, there's the bird here on the left that's black and white. It's a saddle-billed stork. They get their name from the saddle shape that they have on their beaks. You can also tell the difference between male and female, because males have brown eyes and females have yellow eyes. With the Okapi there on the right-hand side,
look at this. Sawyer, look over there.
The zebra because of the stripes on his legs, but it's not. Its only living relative is a giraffe. We are passing by a watering hole here on the left-hand side. However, I haven't really seen too much movement in this yard today. I haven't seen anything in either yard, actually. Right now. I did see some greater kudu earlier here in the trees. Greater kudu, they kind of have like a tan color to their coat. They blend in really well, so I'm not really seeing anything right now.
What is it?
They're trying to find it.
They want it to come out, but it's...
There they are. They're on the left-hand side. They're going to be up on the hill back there.
Up there.
Kind of behind the trees. There's like 3 of them. They have that tan color to their coat. They're the largest forest antelope in Africa, reaching about 71 inches at the shoulder. You can also tell the difference between male and female, because males are the only ones that have horns on top of their heads. So the ones that we just saw back there were all females. We did just leave the forest. Now we're heading into a region of Africa with just a little bit more water. This region we're entering is called the Sampi River, and the Sampi River is home to some of the more aquatic animals like hippos and crocodiles. So keep your eyes focused on the water.
Look, Sawyer, over there.
So right there on the right, you don't have to look over to the right and then back a little bit. There's one in the corner.
Oh, look at the big hippo.
Oh, where's the alligator?
When hippos are underwater, they can hold their breath for about 7 to 8 minutes. They come up for air for 3 to 4 seconds, but then go immediately right back down. So pretty impressive animals.
Look at all that.
They also use a variety of vocalizations to communicate with each other, one of them being a wheeze honk. A lot of the wheeze honk of the hippo.
Sawyer, look over here. Sawyer.
Here on the left-hand side, there's going to be the birds that are white with gray feathers. Those are pink-backed pelicans. They get their name from the pink coloration that they get on their backs during mating season. They also have a really large wingspan that when fully expanded, it's about 8 to 9 feet wide. And just to put that wingspan into perspective, if you guys look above your heads, that canopy is 9 feet wide.
Look next to the edge here. There's a big hippo.
Also, here on the left, you
Big
can see
hippo.
there's a hippo out on the bank right there.
Oh, I see him now.
Big
I
hippo.
want to see hippos out of water because, like I said earlier, they like to spend a majority of their day out there.
No baby.
Herbivores. Oh, there's the baby. That's baby Greta.
Look at his legs,
Greta was
Sawyer.
born about like
Where's the
5
baby?
months
Like
ago.
there, look.
Yeah, so she's still pretty
There he
young.
goes.
Oh, look at the baby. Catch it up. Sawyer,
When a
just see the
hippo is
That's what
born,
Sawyer
they
does, right?
weigh
To his mommy.
around 80 to 90 pounds. And when fully grown, they can weigh up to about 5,500 pounds.
Look at these black birds.
Speaking of large animals, right here on the left-hand side, there's going to be some Nyo Crocodiles. So there's a few of them in the water.
There they
and some
are.
out on the bank.
Look at the
This is one of those
crocodiles.
areas a lot of people like to
Look at the mouth open. the mouth's open. Look right here, Sawyer. You want the window seat? You want the window seat?
Oh, look at
Look
this one
right
back
here,
there.
Sawyer.
Big one.
As you guys can see, those animals were pretty large. Nyo crocodiles are the largest crocodilian species in Africa, reaching lengths of up to about 18 to 20 feet long. They're also ectothermic animals, which means they're cold-blooded, so by keeping their jaws open throughout the day, they're able to regulate their body temperatures. And with those jaws, they also have a pretty impactful bite. So when they capture their prey, they're able to crush their bones in just one step. And they're also able to consume about half of their body weight in just one feeding. Currently up on the right hand side, there's going to be a really big tree. It's called a baobab tree.
That's a real
also
tree.
nicknamed the upside down tree. That's because at the top of it, as you guys can see, the branches kind of look like its roots. And I get asked this question pretty often, why are there no leaves on the branches? That's because these trees are
like
not
the tree
like
that Game
normal
of
trees
Thrones.
out here. They can remain leafless for around 8 to 9 months out of the year. Passing by that tree is leading us into my absolute favorite part of the reserve, and it's the Serengeti grasslands, also known as the savanna. It's really different to the forest we were in earlier, just because this area is a lot more vast and open. There's not really that many trees or bushes right around in the middle, where many animals can hide behind. There's home to some pretty interesting animals and some of my
Ooh,
favorites,
zebras.
like antelopes, wildebeest, giraffes,
Now
and
that's
zebras.
Look
Speaking
how
of
mommy's
zebras,
at.
right here on the right, there's going to be several of them. There's a whole family here on the reserve. There's a mother, a father, 2 teenagers, and then a baby. Now, these are Hartman's mountain zebras. So they're one of the 2 types in Africa where the stripes don't go all the way around their bodies. You can see their underbellies are all
Which
white.
one's the male?
The other zebra that has a similar stripe pattern is a grevy zebra, but those are actually back in the village. Now these 2 here on the right is actually going to be the mother and the baby. The baby's going to be a little bit further back. It's a baby boy. He was born earlier this year.
No, it's peeing.
There you go.
Now there's also here on the left
That
the
boy or girl?
African wild dogs. They're going to be a little bit further back over there. You can see there's one that was kind of standing up right now. African wild dogs are really
Oh, look, coyote.
animals, but
Coyotes.
They do have the highest success
Coyote?
rate.
Oh, that's not what that's called. What's it called? Hyena. Hyena.
About an 89 to 90% success rate. A lot of people think they're related to the hyena, but they're not.
No, they're not.
African wild dogs are related to canines. Hyenas are related to felines. Here on the left, we're passing by a few sable antelopes laying down. So there's another zebra. There's some wildebeest here as well. Wildebeest are the most densely packed
Yeah,
animals
look, there
in
they are.
Africa. They can travel in herds of up to about 1.5 million. There's also the springboks there. Springboks are really small. They can only grow to be up to about 2 feet tall. They can have that light brown top with the white underbelly. And Afrikaans spring means jump, and bok means
Look at that
antelope.
anthill
So
or
just like their
whatever
name,
this
they can jump pretty high and pretty far. Those little guys can jump 6 feet high, 13 feet far, and can reach speeds of up to about 55 miles per hour. And because of their agility, they're used as the mascot for a lot of South African sports teams here in Africa.
It's the giraffe, not the zebra.
So I haven't seen any giraffes out here on this side. They might have migrated over to the other side of the savannah. I also see a few more wildebeest on the head over there.
Hey, Mom, what's on my side?
There's no animals over here.
I did see some movement up there on the left. It's going to be a little bit hard to see.
Oh, there's a giraffe head.
So we'll have to look to the left and more towards the right hand side now. You just see there's a few of them over there. They're right behind the trees.
Look up there in the
I see the
back.
spots over there.
I see the giraffe.
There's actually a lot of them here. There's like 14 or 15 of them. There's some adults, some teenagers, and a few babies. We're probably going to get a little bit better view. The rest of them are going to be on the other side of these trees and bushes here. All the giraffes on the reserve are Maasai, so they get their name from the Maasai tribe in Africa. And they also have an irregular pattern on their coats and rigid edges on their spots, reaching heights of up to about 18 to 20 feet tall. It looks like I do see a few of them up there. Before we get there though, here on the right, there's the bull-looking animals. They're laying down
Oh,
on
I
that
see them up in the
little hill
trees.
there. You can kind of see their horns sticking
Horns
out.
in the trees.
And Coley cattle, they're also nicknamed Watusi. That's because they were the first domesticated animals in Africa by the Watusi tribe. The horns on their heads can grow to be up to about 3 to 4 feet tall. And here on the left, we're gonna get a really good view of the
That looks
giraffe.
right by the thing.
Oh, listen, the baby is right there. It's the one that's standing up a little bit further back. It's a baby boy. His name is Humphrey. He just turned 5 months yesterday. So he's still pretty young. When he was born, he was about 6 feet tall. That's on average how tall they are when they're born. They're about 6 to 6.5 feet tall. And just an hour after they're born, they're able to start walking with their mother. But something pretty impressive about Mom is when she gives birth, she gives birth standing up. So those babies, they see about a 6-foot drop when they're born.
Right on their head.
Speaking of dropping, we're going to be passing by some broken down trees here on the left and right hand side of us. This is a really good sign that we're about to enter elephant country. Elephants are one of the only animals in Africa that I don't know are strong enough to break down a fully grown tree. And I did see a male earlier today, so hopefully saw it in the area. I also see a monkey here on the left. This is going to be a mandrill.
There you go.
That big guy is actually the largest mandrill here on the reserve.
There they are.
Males can weigh up to about 100 pounds, and females can weigh up to about 80 pounds. So you see, there's a few of them over there. You can also look over to the left and the back. There's 2 babies here on the reserve.
Yeah.
Olive and Ivy. Olive, I think, just turned 1 a few weeks ago, and then Ivy was born earlier this year. I'll see there's an elephant right there on the right hand side. Might get
There we go.
view of him once we get started with it. There's another elephant here on the right.
That's what I was after
African elephants are the heaviest animals in Africa. Males can weigh up to about 13 to 14,000 pounds, and females can weigh up to 10.
There he is.
Really good.
Look, he's eating leaves.
Now he is the largest male here on the reserve. There's a few other males, there's a whole herd of females. There's actually another elephant yard here on the reserve. So I'll talk a little bit more about them until we get there. They do have really big ears. African elephants' ears are a lot larger than that of the Asian elephant. And that's exactly how you can tell the difference between an African elephant and an Asian one is just by the size of their ears. They also like to flap their ears back and forth throughout the day because it allows blood to circulate through the blood vessels in their bodies to then regulate the heart temperatures. And they also like to draw blood during water on their backs so they don't cool throughout the day. By doing so, it decreases their body temperatures about 3 or 4 degrees. We're also about to pass by some red clay pits. This is where elephants like to get nutrients and minerals. And you're going to see a perfect example of how they do that here on the right hand side of us. Those markings on that red clay are actually elephant tusk marks. So elephants scrape their tusks across that red clay to then get all of those nutrients and minerals that they can't really get from their normal diets. But sadly, the biggest threat to these animals are humans, and that's because humans are hunting them for their tusks, because they're made out of ivory, which is also what piano keys are made out of. And just like adult human teeth, once those tusks fall out, they don't really grow back.
I saw a bunch of elephants in the back.
That's why it's super important to help protect these animals. Because just like we need our teeth to eat, elephants need those tusks to use muscles to get all of those nutrients and those minerals.
I see them.
I'm not really seeing the herd of them over here on this side. I did see a little bit of movement up ahead though. We're also passing by the baobab trees, the upside down trees I mentioned earlier. So elephants, they like to stick their tusks inside of the trunk of the tree, which allows them to extract the water that's stored inside of it. So that way they can provide water to not just themselves, but to all the other animals in the savannah.
It's like you're going in the water.
Put your feet up.
Put your feet up.
I feel like I've been talking about a lot of large objects for a while now. There's going to be a few smaller animals that we're going to be passing by right here on the left.
Look at the
There's going to be a
birdies,
group of
flamingos.
greater flamingos. And you'll never see one by itself. It's always in a group like this. And a group of them is called a flamboyance. And something pretty cool about these birds is when they're born, they're not born pink. Their natural born colors are gray. However, their diets consist of brine and shrimp, which are high in beta-carotene. And then that beta-carotene is an enzyme that gives them a pink color on their feathers. So they remain gray for about a year after they're born and fully become pink after about 2 years. You'll see the elephant over there. So we're off in the distance on the left.
Yeah, way out.
Now, flamingos are also codependent animals, so they're really good at co-parenting.
Look at the wings on that
Like
one.
elephants that are maternal
Yep.
animals, which means like the females take care of the baby, flamingos are maternal. So both male and female will take care of the baby throughout the day. like we're transitioning into the second part of the savannah. You're going to see that this area is a little bit more densely packed with trees and bushes. Kind of like the forest we were in earlier, a lot of animals like to camouflage and hide. And this is also home to some of the bigger cats of Africa, like cheetahs and lions. But those big cats are going to be a little bit further up ahead, so I'll tell you about them when we get a little bit closer to that area. We're also passing by the mud bass here on the left. It's a pretty good sign there might be some white rhinos in the area. We did see a few of them earlier. They might be over on the other side. But now we're passing by cheetah territory here on the left. You can see there's a couple of them laying down in the area. They're really hard to see. They blend in very well. There's kind of one in the middle. There's another on the very far left-hand side of the yard that's laying down right behind a tree there in the corner. So there's a couple in this yard. There might be a few of them in the second yard up ahead as well. They are the fastest mammals in Africa, typically reaching speeds up to about 60 miles per hour. The reason why I say typically is because if they try hard enough, they can push that speed to reach up to about 70-75 miles per hour. They can go from 0 to 60 in just about 3 seconds.
Oh, wow.
Now here in the second yard, you have to look
There's
to the
one
very far
up there.
right-hand side of the yard. You can see there's that one that's laying down there. That's kind of in the middle of those trees. There's also another one on the very, very far right. Actually, there might be two of them laying right next to each other. They're going to be kind of in between.
Oh, one's against the wall. One's against the wall.
Even though they are the fastest mammals in Africa, they can't really hold their speed for very long. They get tired pretty quickly, so they can only hold it for about 30 seconds to a minute. But they use their tails as a sort of rudder that allows them to change direction once they start chasing after their prey. Here on the left, we're passing by the Kobe Rock formations. This is where a lot of larger predators like lions like to use as an advantage point that allows them to overlook the savannah. But so far this afternoon, I haven't really seen too much movement on the rocks. They're pretty inactive animals during the day. Lions sleep for around 18 to 20 hours out of their day, and they're only active for about 4 hours. That'll be at night. If you look over to your right, though, there's a few different animals. You can see there's a couple of ostriches back there. There's some water bucks. It's going to be kind of like these deer-looking animals with a white circle on their behinds.
Look at the truck, the ostrich.
For the ostriches over there, those are females. The difference between male and female is males have pitch black feathers and females have dull gray color feathers. Looks like no, let's see.
I saw them back there.
Up there on the rocks. They're probably sleeping in their caves right now. Well, we are approaching some warthog burrows here on the left. There's a couple warthogs I see. Look immediately to your left. There's one laying down right next to the tree that's standing up, and another one that's laying right behind the tree that's broken down. You can just see its tusk sticking up.
Yep. Look, tree and then tusk by the wood.
They are sleeping in their burrows down there. They like to back into them with their faces sticking out. So just in case there's any predators in the area, they're able to defend themselves. Oh, here's the rhinos. Gonna be right here on the left and right hand side of us.
Both sides. Look at the other side, Sawyer.
You can see there's a couple of them here on the right. They can reach speeds up to about 35 miles per hour, but they can only see about 15 feet in front of them. So they really don't rely on sight or smell to survive. They really rely on hearing.
Hi, rhinos!
Also see there's some ostrich eggs here on the ground on the right. There's a total of about 6 of them. They have the largest eggs of any animal in Africa. Each individual egg weighs about 3 pounds each, so the equivalence of 2 dozen chicken eggs. And something really impressive about those eggs is they're going to be so strong that if man were to stand on them, they would not be able to break. They have an extremely hard outer shell to them, and they can withstand about 300 pounds on top of them before they even start to crack. It takes around 46 to 49 days for fertilized eggs to hatch as well. That was it for all the animals in that area. We're entering the final area here on the reserve. It's the newest edition here. It is called the Magadi Glen. It was built by farmers in Kenya. And it's where the warden lives. It's also where they take care of some of the smaller animals here on the reserve. Now, they should be out right now. They usually like to hang out in front of this house. Look to your left. There's a group of Nigerian dwarf goats. Super small little guys that can only grow to be up to about 2 feet tall. A lot of the villagers rely on the goats for nutrients such as milk, and the farmers, they also use them as lawn mowers. So So they don't really need machines to mow the ground. So that's because these guys do all the work for them. They will literally eat anything and everything that's sprouting from the ground. So that way the larger hoof-stock animals are able to roam the area freely without getting their hooves caught between any of the weeds. And so passing by the ones, most, and those little guys suggests me that we're almost back to the village. But we did see some really cool animals out there. You guys picked a really good time to join us here at Safaris. Go so far this afternoon, there's been a lot of animal activity out there. And a great way to help out these animals at home is by learning more about conservation efforts. And one of those efforts is as simple as recycling. So you can recycle any paper, plastic, or old technology that you don't really use at home anymore. Some animals like the African elephants, the rhinos, the giraffes, the zebras, or any of the other animals here on the reserve. And if you do want to see some more animals that are not here on the reserve, but they're here in Africa in Harambe, there's Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail, and that's right next door to us. It's a self-guided walking trail. It takes people about 15 to 20 minutes to walk through. And they have animals like gorillas, zebras, meerkats, Lincoln bull rats, and a bunch of other really cool animals. And it looks like, with that being said, the warden is giving us the all clear to head on back to the dock. So our time together is coming to an end, but here in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye. Instead, we say Kwaherini, which means to go well. So Kwaherini, guys, go well, go wild, and go make a big difference out there where the adventures they take you today here at Animal Kingdom. Hold out your hands, I'm like, to the right, door should be signing open. Once again, thanks for joining us here at Safaris.